Good. All right. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Greetings. My name is Chris Kalen, and I am here with the Black Southern Belle, and I'm super excited to be sitting here with Miss Yolawnda McKinney, and it's so many things to talk about. Your bio is amazing. So, founder and visionary behind the Gullah Geechee Pavilion of HHI. You are a sixth-generation Gullah Geechee native of Hilton Head Island and the founder and visionary behind the Gullah Geechee Pavilion. So before we start, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Because the bio is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, an honor to be speaking with y'all this morning. Yes, I'm Yolawnda Cohen-McKinney, and a member of the sixth generation of my family. And I was born and raised here on Hilton Head, and went away a little while, just for higher education, for a career. So I was gone for a while, but while I was gone, I always stayed connected, to my family, what was going on in the community, especially as things changed on Hilton Head, making sure to keep a pulse on what was going on in the community and have a voice, and to make sure that everyone in the community is supported. There are a lot of us that leave and don't return, but there are some of us that return, and we're very much connected. So I'm very much connected to what's going on in Hilton Head, and to make sure that that our culture remain alive and well. And I had the privilege of serving my country. I did that for a number of years. I'm a nurse as well. And now I've recently retired, had some health things going on, so I went going through my own health journey. However, I'm here. God has planted me back here during this chapter of my life to help preserve my culture, and also to assist my mother in the works that she's doing to preserve the Gullah Geechee culture. So here I am, and was happy to be here.
Well, first I have to say thank you for your service. And secondly, Michelle didn't tell me I was interviewing Superwoman, so we definitely have to add that to the resume. Oh my goodness.
I wish I could say that.
That is absolutely amazing. So your business, the Gullah Geechee Pavilion, it sits on ancestral land that was purchased by your great-great-great-grandfather, Caesar Jones. So how does knowing this history shape your mission and vision for the pavilion today?
It's so important that I recognize it, first of all, and to share the richness of the culture and the land specifically. And just to share a little bit, that when I, in the process of purchasing this property, initially I did not know that it was originally owned by my family. Wow. I did not know that. It was when I was doing the footwork and talking with my mother, we saw the family name Millers, and I'm like, okay. And I know the Millers are across the road. My family and my great grandmother had a house there. And so anyway, putting the pieces together with my mother, we realized that this is a part of the property that was lost. And, being able to reclaim it, I'm still in awe about that part of it. But it was just really, really amazing to be able to do so. But yeah, sharing that with visitors, with natives, that what's going on, and it's so much big.
Here goes our friend.
Right? Yeah, but just sharing the story of Caesar Jones and who he was, and just being his descendant and just carrying on the traditions of this culture is what I want to be like the forefront of everything here at the pavilion. But that's what it is for me, just carrying on the traditions.
I have to touch on the fact that you didn't know it was your family's land. So once you made that discovery, what was that feeling like to know that like your ancestor owned this amazing land and now it's coming back into the family?
Yeah, to be honest, Chris, I'm still in awe.
I could imagine.
And to be honest, it's much bigger than me. and I know it's a God thing.
Yes.
And I felt so drawn to it and so compelled to get this land, and it was not easy, but you know, um, through much prayer and perseverance, excuse me, everything came together, and so I understand now why I was drawn to it, because it was a missing piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So, there's a scripture that says, something what was lost is now found. So,
Yes.
this piece of our history was lost, but God allowed it to be found and reclaimed.
I could only imagine what family reunions are like on the property. I feel like it's a great time.
It's amazing. It's amazing you said that, because
Yeah.
uh, the Fraser Jones family reunion, we're all descendants of Caesar and Mariah Jones. And
Wow.
let me just say a little bit that
Please, yes.
they were slaves on Rose Hill Plantation. And if you come to Hilton Head, you pass Rose Hill Plantation by, and it's in the Bluffton community, right off of Highway 278. And it's in the I guess, quote unquote, big house still stands today. That's
Hmm.
another story. But there were slaves. He and Mariah were born there, and they were married there, had children. So he was actually the driver for his master. So Mariah, his wife Mariah, and three children escaped. And this is a story. It's been passed on. Excuse me. As the story goes, as they were escaping, they left on a what we call a bateau. It's a flat bottom wooden boat. And as they were leaving, we assume like in the dead of night, the youngest child, probably around 2 or 3 years old, started crying. And at that point, he had told Mariah, and in the gullah words, he said, "Raya, throw that baby overboard."
Right.
Thank God that God just allowed her to hold that baby close to her and just muffled her cry, so they
Right.
wouldn't be heard and caught. You understand? So they're able to
Yeah.
stay away um, by boat from the plantation to Mitchelville, the beaches of Mitchelville on Hilton Head, and there is where the Union Army was encamped. And the story of Mitchellville, we all know that, but that's where he volunteered for the Union Army. He
Mhm.
served his country, and he and his family left Mitchellville once the war was over, like so many of the other ex-slaves or former slaves, and they purchased land on Hilton Head, on the north end of Hilton Head. And um, and we're told that he purchased over 125 acres.
Wow.
Yes. And so, at some point this piece was lost, but thank God it was reclaimed. And yeah, so that's the story of Caesar Jones. And our family reunion will be held here at the on these grounds in July of this year. So we're actually making plans. The theme is, passing the torch and bringing it back home. So we're gonna bring it back home to the roots, like where everything started, right here
Yeah.
on Hilton Head.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I hope you guys document it, because I want to see it. I might have to be a play cousin that weekend and just
Oh
show
yeah, and I must give you a personal invitation. You are invited.
Oh, see, all I need is an invite. I'm
That's
there.
all.
Awesome. So speaking about the pavilion, it's a living testament to resilience, heritage, and continuing the story of our people. So for your visitors, what does a cultural immersion experience at the pavilion entail, from hospitality to the cultural programming that you offer?
Yeah. So from the moment that guests enter our I guess I want to call it an estate almost, because it's a one
Yes.
acre property, and you know, to be able to see all of the old oak trees, the pecan trees, all of these things. It's a welcoming environment, So when they enter the home, we um, have touches of Gullah throughout the house, and we're that's evolving as well, and so we want the theme of Gullah. the Gullah heritage, the Gullah food, everything related to our Gullah culture um, throughout the home. And of course, there's a nice backyard where there could be plenty of oyster roasts and barbecues in the area. And so, really, we want to make sure that the resilience of the people that that made Hilton Head what it is today, that those stories are still being told. So whether it's pictures on the wall or you know whatever theme we have going on, that we want that those stories to continue and not be forgotten. And a lot of visitors coming to Hilton Head are not familiar with the Gullah culture. So this is the time to actually help educate and let them know about the rich culture and heritage we have here.
Awesome. So I've been to Hilton Head when I was younger. I haven't been as an older adult. So as a native islander, what are some of your favorite places for visitors to connect with the authentic Gullah Geechee culture on the Hilton Head Island outside of the pavilion?
Yes, so of course we have the Gullah Museum of Hilton Head, and my mother is Louise Cohen. She's founder and director, excuse me, of that, and she and her board does a great job of preserving the culture, the artifacts, and that's a whole nother story. That actually my family has donated land to the preservation and the keeping of the culture. So um, the we have the migrant houses that were built years ago. We have Bubba Dewey's house, which is actually the Gullah Museum. Is 90 was it's going to be 96 years old this year,
Wow.
and it's still standing. And we have a old trailer that my aunt Rena lived in. It was the first tractor trailer that came over the bridge, Hilton Head Bridge. It was built in the 40s, and you know how we make do. We find
Yeah.
so it was the back of a trailer, but our cousin somehow turned it into a home for her. So that's where she lived, and so we were able to maintain that. And we have a mural of Sister Rena that was painted by a local artist, and Mary Ferris. And so you have the Gullah Museum, you have the Mitchelville Freedom Park, where it all started. And yeah, so those are other places you can go to get the rich history, to find out more about how it all started, and how our people went from Mitchellville to owning land to starting businesses. Their descendants are still here, um, alive and well. We're thriving, and we're small in number, but we're very powerful. Because we have all of their you know all of the gifts that were given to us. And the most important gift that was given and passed down is the land, and that's so much a part of who we are as a people. And Chris, you're from Charleston, so I'm sure
Yeah.
you can understand that land is so much a part of who we are. So those are a couple other places you can visit.
And everything sounds so amazing. I feel like a lot of times when you hear about Hilton Head, you hear about like the resorts, and you don't hear about the Gullah Geechee culture. So I'm super excited to just be learning so much from you with this interview. So like, why or are cultural sites like the Gullah Heritage Trail Tours and the Gullah Museum essential for visitors who want a deeper understanding of the island history? People like myself.
Absolutely. So, many people come to Hilton Head, you hear about the beaches and you hear about, the golf courses, but you don't hear about the culture as much as, we would like. So,
Right.
and this Gullah Geechee culture is equally important. So, these sites um, help to enlighten and help people to understand how the island developed and how the contributions of those who lived here long ago, long before tourism, how they made Hilton Head what it is today. Because we were, and I said we, my people, we were stewards of the land, and we have so many stories how But before Hilton Head was, Hilton Head, the tourist destination, we were just a small island with a lot of trees, a lot of dirt roads. My father was a fisherman and a shrimper, and we lived simple lives. But something I would like to interject that happened some years ago, I believe it was in the 80s, when um, a big company wanted to purchase, or wanted to do some drilling on along the intercoastal waterways, and one of our community members, Dave Jones, he was very instrumental in stopping that. He, along with other fishermen, got together and they took their boat to DC. They went from Hilton Head to DC,
Wow.
and they went to their senator, and they you really made their voices heard that having this industry, that type of industry here, would destroy our way of life. The shrimp, the crabs, the fish. So their voices were heard, and that company, they were not allowed to drill as they wanted to. So, and that allowed Hilton Head's waterway to remain pristine and beautiful. The beaches are beautiful, but that's one of the stories that's not very well known.
I love that. It's just so much history in Hilton Head. So much history.
Very much.
So the theme, so Juneteenth is going to be here before you know it, like in a couple Saturdays. So
Yeah.
the theme of this year's Juneteenth campaign is a locals guide and vendor spotlight. So why is it important to highlight the intersection of food, art, and history at this specific celebration?
And food, art, history are all forms of storytelling for us. So much a part of there's so much a part of who we are as a people. And if you're gonna get together, food has to be
Oh,
a
food
part.
has to be there.
Yeah, so that really help us understand where we've come from and how the culture has been preserved across generations, and bringing them together, bringing those things together, food, art, culture, and history, create a powerful and more meaningful experience. And just to back up a little bit to a question you asked about places to go, I wanted to also mention that we have other places that I didn't touch on, but we have the Barnwell Tabby, which has been more recently in the spotlight. My cousin Tom Barnwell has a tabby on his property, and there has some research has been done. There has some digs, has been archaeological digs have been taking place. So that building, that structure, is the whole oldest structure on Hilton Head. It's dated back to the 1700s.
Wow.
And Native Americans were inhabitants of the island. They were the original inhabitants of Hilton Head. And so he still has his structure that's standing, and that's really a big part of our community and the story to be told. And we also have Benya. Benya is owned by Lola Campbell. That's on her family land. And she is a store where different things, candles, and so many beautiful things are sold. And we also have families that have fresh produce that's on the side of the road. You can, as you're coming on Hilton Head, you can stop and purchase fresh produce. And we also have the beautiful Island Square that's owned by Ty Scott. And that's on his family land, and he has local food truck vendors or food vendors that have, that's the end thing now,
Right.
those trucks and that food trucks. So they are located there, and that's a place to assemble, to come together. We've had meetings there at Ty's place, so that's another place to support, as well as some restaurants. We didn't really touch on those, but we have to talk about places to eat. If you come.
Absolutely.
So some places to eat. We have Ruby Lee's. That's right. Actually, it's on down. It's near my place. It's probably a half a mile from here on Old Wild Horse Road. That's owned by Tim Singleton. And they have live music there as well as Kind of Blue. They're on the south end of the island, but they also have Gullah food, and it's a have a it's a good place to go for live music as well. And then there is Mama Joy's Kitchen, and she has like the down home cooking. And
does she have a show, or am I making that?
who's
Maybe
that?
it's a show on PBS. I don't know. Or maybe I'm confusing it with something else with Mama Joy's Kitchen, but I've heard that before. Or
Yes, so
maybe it's something I've seen online. Yeah.
unless she's because she's pretty popular, so maybe it's something you've seen
Oh,
online. So
awesome.
yeah, so those are other places you can visit while on Hilton Head. There's so many places that you can actually really patronize Gullah Black businesses, and yeah, so we have to support each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what would you tell? What would be your go-to tip for those attending the Juneteenth festival? Excuse me, those attending the Juneteenth festival, so they can just slow down and take it all in. I know you have events happening like the campfire conversation with Joe McGill and the drum circle, the festival featuring Stokely. So there are so many different features happening. So like, how would you tell people coming out just to be able to take all of this in? Because it's so much happening, but great things are happening.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, slow down, and because you get so excited because there's so many good things happening around, so many good things to see, so many good foods to eat, and but really, some of the island's greatest treasures aren't found in the brochures. So if you
Hmm.
spend time just talking, and just observing, and a lot of times, as natives, we may not always share everything, but you can we express through our food, our art, our arts and crafts, and in so many ways that we share. But definitely, and just being able to speak with others that's around, and just try to indulge as much as possible, but slow down and enjoy it. Enjoy it's going to be in beautiful Mitchellville. So with all of the beautiful trees, and that, knowing that that's where it all started, that our ancestors actually lived there, they
Yeah.
had a community there, they had stores there, they had a church there, they had so many buildings that were erected at that time. So we're standing on those grounds. And actually, I mean, I see it as sacred ground. So
Yeah.
hopefully visitors can actually keep that in mind as well, and just take in a moment and just know that the place where they're standing, it's a sacred place.
I know a lot of times I haven't had the opportunity yet, but a lot of times when people say they go to Africa, this thing just comes over them where they just feel so welcomed. But I feel like in spaces like Hilton Head, like where your ancestors actually were, it's that same type of feeling. Like your ancestors built this land, so
Yeah,
I can't wait to experience that. So, what are you most looking forward to seeing at the festival? Is it the vendors, the artists that will be there performing, the community storytellers? It's just so many different
so
features.
many. I will enjoy all of it, of course, but what what resonates with me most is just the community coming together, that togetherness. And growing up on Hilton Head, that's always been the theme of everything we did, is community. So whether someone is having a cookout, or someone's having food, you make sure your neighbors get some. Back in
Yeah.
the day, we had a pig or a hog, and that the hog was slaughtered. We make sure that every family in that community actually got a piece of that, and had something to eat. We couldn't just keep it to ourselves, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to mostly, is that getting together. Probably people I haven't seen since last year, this time, but having that community togetherness is what's most important to me.
And this is a lot of events. So it's just not one event, it's a week
Yes.
leading up to it. So we're going to go down with each event. So for those who are just hearing about it or they want to learn more. So starting off with Thursday, June 11th at 5 o'clock is the Juneteenth campfire conversation and sleepover with Joe McGill. So what can guests expect from that?
Well, really come with an open mind, open heart, and just really take in as much as you can. Sit back and enjoy all of the, the entertainment, and yeah, just take it all in. And and mostly as you're taking it in, you're going to hopefully take with you the memories, and also hopefully you will have experienced something different,
Yes.
during the week, and you can take that with you as just as another gym because we have so
Yes.
much here, and everything is still unfolding, you know,
Yes.
and with our culture. So really, take it with you, and as the saying goes, each one teach one. So
Yes.
take that knowledge and share, take it back to wherever you're going and share it with, with someone else. This is what's going on, in South Carolina and Mitchelville and the Gullah people, they, tell about this culture because a lot of people don't, still aren't aware of it. And it's a
Yes.
part of our history, and it's not only a part of the Low Country history, it's a part of South Carolina history and American history as well.
Absolutely. Friday, June 12th is a children's drum camp, and this is free. We love free. So, children will be taking on a hands on drumming experience where they'll learn some techniques. After that, June 12th will be the Juneteenth celebration and drum circle from 5:30 to 7:30, open to children of all ages. Saturday, June 13th. Now, we have to talk about this from 10 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. That is a Juneteenth celebration. Admission is $10. Children 10 and under are free. And this will feature community music, Gullah Geechee celebration, Gullah foodways on the historic grounds of Mitchelville. So it'll be so many things happening. And we have a Grammy headline performance from Stokely. So can you give us some details about that?
Yeah, and you mentioned about the children's event. So it's so important to have our children involved in our culture, and to make sure that we're passing on the legacy.
Yes.
Sometimes we get so busy, and life be life, but we have to slow down sometimes to make sure we bring our kids along, take them by the hand
Yes.
and teach them our culture, teach them, this is how we got to where we are today. And so yeah, so it's important to have the kids in that circle. And so yeah, that will be a time where the kids can really get their hands in involved, get it dirty, so to say, but really,
Yeah.
really enjoy the arts and crafts. And we'll have a time where of course we're celebrating. We're going to have the music going in the background. We're going to have people dancing, and that's what it's all about. It's all about celebrating. And
Yes.
Masterville, where it all started, should be a place of celebration. So all of those different activities, it really represents a time of celebration. So that's what we're looking forward to. We hope everyone come out and help celebrate with us. And definitely, take that joy, take that excitement, and all that you have learned, and take it back to where you're going. Hopefully, come back next year as well, in years to come. Because
Absolutely.
we're gonna keep this culture alive on Hilton Head.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then you have Stokely, the Grammy nominated vocalist, songwriter, producer, and multi instrumentalist and lead singer and drummer of a legendary R&B group, Mint Condition, headlining. So, I mean, hey, that sounds like a great time
Yeah.
to me. Great
Oh,
food, things for the kids to do. Like, only thing missing is going to be me, so I'm going to have to be there.
oh yeah.
And lastly, on a Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, it is going to be a Juneteenth 5K Palmetto running. Yeah, excuse me, a 5K. So I'm really excited to see that 5K, keeping people active, keeping them going
Yeah.
after we ate all week with all those
Yes.
good, delicious food.
Yes.
So more information that you can tell me about the 5K. So if you want to walk, run, or jog, this is for you. So everyone included.
Absolutely, and it's all about health and wellness. Especially, I have a medical background, so it's all about keeping ourselves healthy. Especially within the Black community, we have some underlying conditions, with hypertension, diabetes, all of those things. some obesity issues. So all of that can be addressed through health and wellness. So that definitely is an opportunity for everyone to come out. Like if you can't run, you can walk. So yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely time for everyone. And I was about to say if you can walk, crawl, but we don't want you to
Right.
go. So just
We
be
need
out
to
there,
just yes.
be out there and come and participate and have a nice time.
Yes, this is going to be an amazing event. And if you want the full list, you can head to explore mitchellville.org. Miss Yolawnda Cohen-McKinney, I truly enjoy speaking to you. I feel like I just gained so much knowledge, and I really, 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 I can't wait to come because I am coming. And I want to do just a deep dive, just to explore the pavilion. How can people connect with you if they want to book a tour at the pavilion? How can we do that?
Yes, so the Gullah Geechee Pavilion is located at 171 Wild Horse Road on Hilton Head. So we're on all of the major short-term rental platforms like Airbnb, um, Verbo. Yeah, when you enter the actual address, then the property comes up. In addition, you can find us at our we have a website, www.gullahgpavilion.com. And yeah, so definitely if you're interested in booking days or just coming to visit, definitely we're here.
Awesome. I enjoyed this so much. I learned so much just about you, about your family. I think this is amazing. And Juneteenth is going to be awesome. So once again, make sure you are heading to exploremitchellville.org/Juneteenth celebration for a full list and a full rundown of everything. I can't wait to see you there. Once again, thank you, Michelle with Black Southern Belle, for having us, and happy Juneteenth.
Thank you.
Thank you.